And we gather mariachi band. We gather UNT, University of North Texas, the choir, and also one final group is from Taipei, so the dancing group. So you blend, music, choir from UNT, and then you have mariachi band, and you have all the folk dances from Taiwan. So is that great country or not? That's great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will stay on one
If Mayor Chow can stay, I thought it would be great to have the two of them give the certificates. What a picture of diversity, awarding them. Patrick Jackson is from Sierra Leone. He's an entrepreneur and was elected to the Rowlett City Council. He's also on board of directors. And he's brought a PowerPoint. Patrick, if you have any trouble with that, I will just come and run it for you.
Not a problem. I'll tell you what, I need to visit my guys with the audience first and find out just exactly who we have here, then I'll know what direction to go. Again, like Ms. Ann said, I'm Patrick Jackson. I'm born and raised in Sierra Leone. I came to the United States in 1972. And I'm currently a councilman around in Texas. But I really like to know my audience so I can do this. If we need a PowerPoint, we don't even need it before it's all over. But I've got a few goodies here, which again, feel free to grab them, and I can explain to you what they are later on. All right. First of all, I'd like to know, anybody aspiring to run for office? Any kind of office? So I can just, we're bashful? Show hands. Okay, so I know just where we're going. We may not need the PowerPoint then, Miss Ann. You aspiring to run for office? Okay, anybody else? Two? That's good. All right, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Patrick, born in Sierra Leone. I came over to America when I was planning on coming. I was speaking in a church the weekend before Martin Luther King. They invited me to give a talk. And basically told them how I was before I got here. At that time, back in the 80s, back in the 60s, there's a lot of interesting things going on around here for minorities. Discrimination, number one. Assassination, number two. Ugliness, number three. Good. And one of the last places I wanted to be in this world at that time, as a black kid running the streets of Sierra Leone, was in the United States. Because I basically knew over here wasn't a place that I would have been welcome. But interestingly enough, about a year later, I found myself in Staten Island, enrolled in Staten Island Community College in New York. Is that a miracle? Basically what happened, I had a cousin that she was in California, lived in California, she was in acting school. We were very close when we were back there. And Daddy, she came from a rich family, call them the other side of the track, rich. And so she'd gone home for holidays. And at that time I finished what you call high school, we call them secondary school over there. I finished secondary school. And I was in the only university in Sierra Leone, Friday College. Probably heard of the name. But so I was a student there studying engineering. So when she came, of course, we lived in the dorm, Friday College up in the mountains, up in the hills. So I was up there, so when she came, I didn't even know she was coming, I didn't know she was here. So interestingly enough, they live not too far from where we live, related, and we had a big compound. They have a small compound with their daddy, she's rich, her daddy travels a lot. So she wanted to park her car one evening. And so she knew where we live, so when she comes to our house, she knew we had an extra room over there. And she got my daddy didn't know she was there. Oh, how you doing? So you here and all that kind of stuff. But then, of course, they asked about me. My cousin inquired about me. And then my daddy told them, oh, he's in college now. He's up at Friday College. And then one thing led to another. I don't know how it happened. I wasn't there. I know when I got down for the weekend, weekends, bring my daddy close to my mom, my sisters to clean them up for me. I was the big shot of the oldest. And the daddy asked me, says, oh, your cousin was here. I said, really? She's in town, all excited and everything. And she said, yeah. I said, yeah. And then he says, by the way, do you want to go to America? What? He asked me, he said, you want to go to America? I said, do you have the money? He said, I asked you first, do you want to go? Why not? Who doesn't? You know, I didn't tell him I was scared to come over here, you know. I just got, I said, well, who doesn't? Yes, Dad, definitely. He said, okay, so he gave me orders, who to talk to, what to do, passport, visa, all that stuff. And as luck would have it, almost 4 months to the day, I found myself at JFK. And like my friend, Mr. Chow, when I got over there, the person that was supposed to be helping me, another school friend that he'd already been over here, I sent communication, I'll be coming, and when need housing, this and that, etc., etc. And I did not get no response from him. But I just assumed, you know, guys, everything's going to be okay. I had the name, I have my address, I have telephone number. So when I got to JFK, nobody there to meet me. Panic setting. I started asking questions, I had the address, I had everything else I need. And I had $100 in my pocket that my grandmother gave me. That's our little bit contribution. So I asked people, you showed me the address, how could I get to this place? They put me on the bus took me down to Grand Central. They get a lot of people just walking around, doing about the business. And again, I asked from Grand Central, how do I get to such and such house? The guy was living in Brooklyn, how do I get there? So they showed me the way. And I was all dressed up in suits. You know, you come to the store in America those days, you get your suits, you got a heavy bag with books that are heavier than this table. So I couldn't carry this stuff by myself. So by George, I put my suitcase on my head, I had to go to Brooklyn. And they showed me how to get on the subway, etc., etc. First I knew, I got in there, and 6 months later I was enrolled in Staten Island Community College. I finished my associate in engineering over there. And then from there I started junior college. I went to University of New York in Harlem, on 25th Street. Did a junior year over there. And by that time, tuition was kind of high. My folks were helping me. But again, I'm the oldest, so I knew I had to let me pick up my own wage, and so they can have my little brothers and sisters back there. So I got a job. I working for a Jewish guy. I'm not going to prison law. To this day, we still communicate every Christmas. We send cards to each other. So he gave me the job. The next thing I knew, it was a liquor store. He gave me a place to stay above the liquor store. And one day again, you know, New York, liquor stores, put a gun to your head every year. That's how I celebrated Christmas. And so after one incident, the guy that was in charge of the store, Italian guy, I hope there's no Italian in here, he all broken apart, was crying. And by that time I knew what to do, to ring the register, to sell. Because before that I was just like a stockman, you know, keeping the shelf full, putting the case up and understanding. So of course I called the police. Police was coming, the guy was all panicky, crying. So by the time the owner came from Manhattan to the store, he saw me in the register. I don't know what went through his head, but he just left me alone, you know, he went ahead, talked to the police, etc., etc. So the next day he came, when he came to work. That time I was going to school and working. So he called me in the office. And I sat down and I said, you know, told me how impressed he was with me, how when this other guy's name was Ben, how Ben kind of fell apart. And he noticed I was strong. I took over the register. He didn't even have to ring the register. So he made me the manager. Go back. And knock on wood, praise the Lord, I started hiring and firing and doing all kind of interesting stuff that African kids would do when they come over here. And I found out my grades started nosediving. So I figured I know why that was happening, because I was partying a lot. Friends, girlfriends, no boyfriend, I got approached by a few of them, but I told them it wasn't my style. So again, my grades were nosediving, so I figured I knew it was just New York wasn't the place for me at that time. Robbery, gun to my head, all the kind of other stuff. So at that time, I have an older brother, was a half brother. He was in the U.S. United States Army, and so he was in school he was in aviation school in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I told him, man, I want to get out of New York. My grades are nosediving. I know if I can get out here to somewhere better, I just heard about this area, Texas, Oklahoma. At the time, you know, for the mass strikes, but tuition was very low.